We're bypassing the pleasantries today because the system is critically stagnating. The source material we're looking at identifies a fatal bug in human history. The core of it is this. Humanity developed lies and traps as a survival mechanism against predators. We were physically weak, so we used information, asymmetry, mimicry, deception to survive. It was a biological tool. But the crisis now is that we're no longer using this weapon against beasts. We're using it against our own species. And this internal predation has created a massive stagnation in our current capitalist OS. We are clogging our own arteries.
A fundamental survival trait as a bug. I have to represent the common sense view here. Deception, accumulation, securing resources for yourself, these are just natural human behaviors. They're the bedrock of individual security. You can't just dismiss the very strategies that kept us alive for millennia as some kind of virus. Lies can be social lubricants, and hoarding is just, well, it's preparing for winter.
It is not an overreaction. It is a calculation of entropy. My position is that circular capitalism is the only logical correction. The current system of ownership and accumulation is a negative entropy state, where energy, money, resources is stuck. It doesn't flow. When a spider weaves a web, it catches prey to fuel the next cycle. When our system weaves a web of false value, it simply traps energy. It stops the flow. The lie is transformed from a life support device into a system-killing cancer.
But you're ignoring the individual incentive. You're focused on this abstract social body. Look, let's make this concrete. The 5-kilometer fish example from the material, it's a perfect illustration. A human tells his neighbor, hey, there are fish 5 kilometers away, just to make the neighbor leave so he can take the fish right here. You call that time and space occupation? I call that intelligence. That is how we survive. Asking people to stop outsmarting each other is just, it's naive.
It is not intelligence. It is a resource monopoly strategy that wastes the neighbor's kinetic energy. Think of the aggregate system cost. That one lie creates a society of high verification costs. If everyone assumes the neighbor is lying about the fish, now everyone wastes resources just checking instead of fishing. The source proves this internal friction is what stops the blood flow of the earth. We are burning energy just to verify truth, not to repair the biosphere.
You're talking about system costs, but people live in the immediate reality. You cannot ask a person to endure or sacrifice their immediate gain for the planet's blood flow. People act on incentives. If I can get the fish right now, I really don't care about the verification costs of society 5 years from now. That's the emotional reality you're missing.
I'm not asking for patience or morality. The source logic dictates we must hack the instinct, not change it. We don't need to make people good. We need to reframe repairing the wasteland as the new 5-kilometer fish. The survival vector itself has to shift. It's not about being altruistic, it's about the cold realization that if the wasteland, the environment, isn't fixed, your individual life support system shuts down.
But how do you make that shift without some kind of coercion? You're talking about overriding free will. People want the freedom to secure their own advantage, even if it's messy. You can't just program us like machines to...
We are already programmed machines. Our code is just outdated. We are running a hunter-gatherer patch on a global network. The logic is simple. The survival instinct drove us to deceive. We just need to align that instinct. The new truth has to be that environmental repair is the only path to individual survival. We're not asking them to save the world. We're telling them that if they don't repair the ship, they drown. The lie becomes the absolute truth of physical limits.
I still think you're underestimating how much people will cling to the game they know.
The cold verdict is that the existing system is hitting physical resource limits. Winning a game on a sinking ship is not a victory. It is suicide. Continuing the old operating system is mathematically impossible. The transition to circular capitalism, turning our traps toward Earth repair, is not an option. It is the sole rational investment for survival.